Hello, and welcome to the number one reason to play Hitman World of Assassination. I'm MCFPapa. And what is the number one reason? Well, I could say stuff like the massive amount of content, or just the fact that it's a fun game. And those are good reasons too, but the number one reason for me is that challenge ideas I came up with have actually been added to the game. And now if you see through the timeline or destinations, there's two locations that are missing challenges that aren't all done. And the first one is Forged in Fire. And here is the mock-up image I made several months ago, back in August, I believe. And then I had no idea that it would actually turn out to get added, but it was just basically a thread on Hitman forum, and as you can see, it was made under my Luke F. SJE alter ego. And so, it just was a total shock to me when the last roadmap came out for the Season of the Undying, and it was actually my challenges officially added into the game. Well, two of them anyway, but the two best ones, I'd say, of the suggestions I had. And so what this is going to be is just me kind of giving, I guess, developer commentary on it or something, in case you're interested in that sort of thing, while I go for 'em. And now, for this one, I made this contract because I figured it would be slightly easier to not need to worry about all these guards on some of the areas. And of course, this is by no means the definitive way to do the challenge. I'm sure there's much more faster and efficient methods to do them in, but I just thought I'd like to make this video. It's a big break, I know, from my usual sort of content on this channel, but it is what I wanted to show off, you know? So, now, for the Forged in Fire challenge, what it is to light 4 braziers disguised as a metal worker. I'm pretty sure the word is pronounced brazier, but when I was a kid, I always called the word brazier. I didn't know what a real bra was then at that point, but I asked my dad how to pronounce that word, and he's like, oh, it's pronounced brazier. And so I just figured it must be true, and so I typically always still call them braziers. And my thought process for this challenge specifically was to make it kind of like the metal worker was forging the burial dagger in the braziers, and that's how the dagger was created. That was my thought process for why the burial dagger, of all things, is a reward for this. Because I wanted a reward for each challenge, and I chose various things I'd like to see added to the game. And so for this one, it was the burial dagger. And plus, I really loved the show Forged in Fire. I could just binge episode after episode. They have so many clips and full episodes on their official YouTube channel, so you really should check them out. It's just funny because I have absolutely no interest in forging real blades or anything, but it makes for an interesting show to watch. That's for sure. And so, like, my thought process with this is just take out the guards so it's a lot easier to get through here as the metal worker without needing to sneak around or anything. And that was my idea. So, in case you're wondering, a lot of Hitman is waiting around for proper timing to deal with the people. Because, like, for example, here I just gotta let their conversation play out and then subdue them. And I should probably just mention that, like, in case you don't know, Hitman is all about you're this Agent 47 and you're sneaking around to assassinate certain targets. And it's a lot of a stealth game, though you can play it more gung-ho, guns blazing if you want. And you're always trying for the ever-elusive silent assassin, which, I mean, I know for some people it is the be-all, end-all. For me, it's not as important to me, but I will still try to make at least a good faith effort to go for it. Like, case in point with this, I made this whole contract so it would be much easier to get Silent Assassin, since, like, these guards are much easier to take out themselves than needing to sneak by him and everything, and then trying to still get Silent Assassin with the main mission targets, who are a lot more tougher. Well, not even necessarily tougher, but just longer to take out. And this video is much too long already, so. And so I just took out the one guy and then hide his body. And in case you're wondering why, of all things, I chose Ambrose Island, of all locations, to have a challenge associated with it, it's because Ambrose, I feel, is the one that's one of the more lacking locations in terms of challenges. Because they added it in the post-launch, a whole brand new map for free. And it's a great map. I do really like it, though I like all the maps in this game. And yet, what's weird or notable about Ambrose Island is it's just, like, not got that many challenges compared to the other ones. And I think that's just because they didn't have the budget, really, or didn't want to spend the budget to come up with a whole bunch of other challenges and programming to add to the map. But I am really glad they chose this one to add it, because, like, when the map first launched, like, and even to this day, there's, counting this Forged in Fire challenge, there's been exactly 2 challenges added to the game, to this map anyway. And so, like, I'd like there to be more, and so that's why I chose Ambrose Island specifically. And also, like, in this map, the metalworker disguise really isn't utilized much at all. You can use it to sneak around some places, but it's just kind of pointless when the militia guard disguise and the pirate disguise are much easier to get and much more useful, since you can, like, openly carry weapons. So that was one reason why. That was part of my thought process for the challenge. And then also the braziers themselves on this map, there's 4 of them, and you can light them even before this, but the only thing that they were even good for before this challenge was added by me was a small Monkey Island Easter egg. And I mean, like, why even... That's a lot of trouble to add. To actually bother adding 4 of them in various locations on the map, and then not bothering to make it worth really anybody's time to get them. Because with the Easter egg, you also get a pirate saber, but there's other locations, well, one other location on the map you can also dig to get the pirate saber without lighting all the braziers. And then there's also the whole fact that if you have the pirate saber unlocked from the Haven Island location, you can just bring it with you right away onto this map. So it's just, they weren't really used much at all, so I like that now with my challenge they are added in more. And so right now I'm just sneaking over to the pirate base section. And I'm sorry if this is a bit confusing for you. I'm not really trying to be like explaining everything about all you can do. But so now I'm the metalworker disguise, and now I'm taking out the cameras because I really want to go for Silent Assassin, even though the route I take isn't really gonna be in the way of any cameras much. I'm still wanting to take him out, so now I gotta wait because there's the Akka and her guard in the room with the security footage. So just gotta chill. See what I mean about sometimes needing to wait for the right moment. And that's really the key if you want to do Silent Assassin, is like you just gotta be as patient as you possibly can. And so now she's leaving, the guard's leaving, so now I can finally sneak in. And I'm just wanting to avoid the one guard in there actually turning around. So that's why I'm just still staying out here. And there he goes. I don't think he would have seen me even with that turning there, but... And honestly, if you don't want to go for Silent Assassin, really don't need to bother with all that. Or you could just avoid / shoot out each individual camera if you wanted to. But anyway, so now that that's done, now I can finally go and get the torch. And now, like, that's one thing is, like, Ambrose Island is a pretty big map, but there's just, it's not that interconnected. There's some good interconnectedness, but there's a lot of going through certain paths, because there's all these, like, for example, here, there's all this, like, rock faces and everything, and there I'm just pointing out the brazier there to you. Oh, and then I confused myself a bit where the heck the torch is. Now with the torch you gotta be careful because it can get extinguished. But first of all, I just like to point out this other pro gamer strat, you can say. Any explosive works, but if you just detonate an explosive on a brazier, it'll start it on fire 2 without the torch. And so, honestly, that's probably the better way to go for that brazier there deep in the militia cave. But anyway, so there's the first one lit. And fun fact about that first brazier, right now, the game is bugged where it doesn't actually need you to light that brazier. The challenge will pop if you do just the other 3. And so that's why I think they should have had a counter like I had in my challenge mock-up. Not to brag or anything, but I did that, but instead they just have it with no counter, and just when you allegedly light them all, but you only need to light 3 of them for it to pop. But I decided to be thorough, because chances are it will get fixed. Maybe. There's several other issues that haven't been fixed in this game that are several years old at this point. And now here I'm just getting myself confused because I forgot where the one brazier location actually was, and it's over there. But like, I just adore this game, and it's definitely my most played game, period, probably, in terms of hours spent on it. I'm gonna flash it up on screen right now, my exact amount of hours, but it's well over 1,000. Anyway, here's this brazier, which is nice and easy to do without needing to worry about those 2 guards up here. And now for the long trek over to the 4th one. Now, I mean, yeah, in terms of design, it's not that good that I needed to, like, you're crossing clear over the map, but there's still a good enough challenge, I think. Of course, I might be biased, like, it's my own challenge. And honestly, big shout out to IO, because it was just a simple challenge ideas thread, and started by a fan on Hitman forum, and it wasn't official in any way, but it's just like a huge surprise when I saw the Season of the Undying roadmap. There's my challenges, 2 of them listed, and it's just like, wow, because that's something I didn't imagine would happen in a million years, like it would actually be added in any official capacity. And now here, though, like, if I was smart, I would have just waited and then snuck around the stupid guard. But instead, I got found trespassing, violating my precious silent assassin, and meaning that I had wasted a huge amount of time trying to get it. Anyway, there's the challenge done. And now there's this guy, and he could have just lived for another day, but because he pissed me off by spotting me at the very end, I decided to snap his neck and then just take the not submarine, but I don't know what you would call this boat. Tactical boat? Or something? I don't know. But anyway, there we go. Forged in Fire completed. 2,000 XP as well. And only 4 stars. Could have got 5 stars in Silent Assassin if I had been a bit more patient there at the end. Oh well. But there's the burial dagger. Get a load of that lovely description. And if you would like to use this contract yourself and you're on PS5, there's the ID in the lower left corner. So you can play Hitman yourself and play something I created if you want. But anyway, Fortune Fire released about a month ago, and today is May 30th, which is when the other challenge of mine, The Great Thief, was added to New York. And now I chose an assassination challenge on New York specifically because it only has 4 other unique assassination challenges. And there's the mock-up I did. Personally, I think that the mock-up image idea I had is much cooler than the official one, but that's just my opinion. And anyway, for this one, I am gonna just do it on the main mission. I don't even think you can do it on a contract. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, with this, there's 5 unique assassination challenges on this map, which is just really small. Like, even most of the bonus missions have more than just 5 unique challenges in Assassination. So that was one thing I really wanted to do. And also, I wanted a New York challenge, because back in last summer, they added in a challenge to Haven Island, which surprised me because it was the first thing they added to Haven Island in like several years, like 3-4 years, I think, in the time between Haven Island releasing. There's me accidentally pausing. And like, in case you don't know, this game, Hitman World of Assassination, is essentially 3 games in one. It's Hitman 2016, Hitman 2, and Hitman 3 all bundled together. Except for the DLC missions of New York and Haven Island, which were originally DLC for Hitman 2. And even with all the rebranding and mingling and bundling of content and that, there's still separate DLC purchases even to this day. And so, like, it was just mind-blowing to me seeing that the Haven Island actually had a challenge added to it. And so my thought process with this challenge suggestion was, well, if they are willing to do one for Haven Island, they might as well do one for New York, the other DLC mission, you know? And it turns out they did. And it was mine. And right now I'm just going through the standard motion of neutralizing all the people in the vault, so it's a lot easier to break in. And I chose to use the default suit starting location just to show off that, yeah, you can do it even from default. But you can just, if you have it unlocked, have the bank robber disguise, and then you just spawn right here in the basement, and it's a lot quicker. But like I said, I'm not going for super most efficient. And now, here I'm going and getting the keys for the money truck exit, but I guess I was thinking about maybe going to the using that exit, but then I decided to use the other exit, so that was a bit of a waste. But I did at least get the huge 10 XP bonus for the getting the key. But now, like, if I wanted to, I could just immediately switch to the bank robber disguise and then clear out these people as I'm going up. But I decided instead to clear him out when I'm the high security guard disguise, because it's a lot easier to get around. Because with the bank robber disguise, like, a lot of the guards are, like, openly suspicious towards you. And so I just decided to go through already, like, when it's legal for me to be here, and just clear the path.
I can't believe it. I hit every quota they threw at me.
And by the way, I just love the satisfying conk sound effects this game has when you bash someone over the head with a melee item and it instantly knocks them out.
What's going on?
And I mean, yeah, I guess hit hard with a crowbar would knock you out, but it might permanently knock you out too. Alright. So, now here's good old Mateo Perez walking around. And I just want to avoid him, because he's probably the most annoying NPC in this map. And now doing the standard distracting the guys in the security office with the box. And, like, that's one thing with New York, like, your route, at least when I'm playing it in, like, Freelancer and that, my route is generally the same, like, taking out these guys to get up to the top floor, climbing down over that railing to get down to the basement in just my suit. So there is that, but it is a very good map, albeit on the smaller side. So maybe that's why they didn't put that many assassination challenges in this one, because they just couldn't think of that many kill opportunities. I don't know. Anyway, so we get the guards taken out, so now just freely run through here and we can go up the stairs to the other part. And, like, once again, like, wearing the high security guard disguise, I always enter the office through this side door in the back, because, like, the receptionist and the one guard there is also an enforcer to the disguise. And now for this part, just wanting to distract the guards. And the reason I'm using coins is that with coins, like, you can distract people faster, because with other items you can throw them to distract them, but then they have to do their suspicious, like, what's that, like, animation, and then once the question mark above their heads finally disappears, then you can throw an item again to distract them. But with the coins, you can throw it to distract the guard once, and then before they've even finished their animation, you can throw it again to distract them further. And I mean, if you want to do this route, you could honestly probably just do this for getting Silent Assassin suit only as well. Basically the same pathing. You know? But I'm doing it for the bank robber disguise. And my thought process with this challenge was, well, the big bank robber disguise is used for pretty much nothing. I mean, yeah, the disguise counts toward the one chameleon challenge for getting all disguises, but like there's really no other purpose to using the bank robber disguise. Like, it's an active hindrance since so many guards, even in non-trespassing public areas, are... I think every guard, actually, is an enforcer to the bank robber disguise, even though, like, they aren't for your suit. So you might as well just use your suit if you want to get around. Anyway, here I'm just taking out her, like, right-hand man, I guess you would say. And then you can pick up his key in that too. I don't think I used the lockpick at all in this run, so like if you want a truly default loadout, I think you can do the same thing. Not that it's that hard, but you can. Anyway, now good old Athena is all alone, so you can just conk her out.
That's the first backup data disk.
I don't know why I picked up the backup data disk, because I'm not using that to fulfill the obtain data objective, but I guess it's just force of habit. Like, if I knock out an NPC and they drop something, I gotta pick it up. Like how I always will pick up a guard's gun when they drop it, pretty much, even though I don't need it. But anyway, now it's just a matter of retrieving the bank robber disguise.
Say, aren't you really red?
And like, I do really like New York as a whole, especially for the unique feature that it's the only mission that's completely indoors. Like, even in something like Dubai, which is mostly, it's entirely in one building, it still has like some outdoor balconies and that to go on. But here it's just totally sealed in inside. And now here's how I clear out this room to get the bank robber outfit. I just distract the guard, because if a civilian and a guard hear a distraction, it's pretty much always the guard who will check it out. And I don't even think I needed to deal with this woman, because I think both she and the guard will actually just leave the bathroom. But I think they do eventually come back in, so just to be safe, I knocked them out and then dumped their bodies in, I don't know even what the crate is supposed to be, like a laundry basket or something, I guess, but why is that here in the bank? Or maybe it's a money transport thing or something, I'm not sure, but
That sound?
anyway, it does seem like kind of a missed opportunity that there's nothing else more to do. Like, these people are just, they have a funny conversation and whispering in the bathroom talking about robbing the place, but they never actually rob the place. So I don't know, maybe at some point during development there was a mission story here where you're specifically robbing the bank as bank robbers, maybe, and they cut it out. I don't know. Anyway, now I can go into the vault as the bank robber. And now, like, one thing though is, in the mock-up image I did, it was very clearly you, as a bank robber, break into the vault and steal all the gold. I put that specifically in the challenge descriptions because this is an Easter egg, and chances are most people aren't going to know about it. But basically, once you get all the gold bars, then your mask turns gold, and then the golden sawed-off shotgun spawns in. And I just had to do a cool little pose there with the camera.
Good work, 47. That's the evidence secured for now.
So now it's all simple matter of going back up to Athena to finish her off. And now, in hindsight, yeah, maybe it would have been a better reward for this mission or this challenge if it was like a bank robber themed outfit, like for your suit collection. Maybe that would have been better, but I really like the golden sawed off shotgun, and I have wanted it added to the game for a long time. That's why I chose it for here, because I mean, this is like the perfect opportunity to unlock it. You know, this whole like Easter egg sort of thing where you can use it in the missions. And of course, this is super handy in Freelancer too, because the golden sawed-off shotgun is a legendary item, and it's the only legendary item you can get for free in Freelancer without needing to buy it. And now if I wanted to, I could have just dropped the briefcase with the rack there, but I decided to carry it up here anyway. I mean, using the little side thing, which is easier to sneak through than going around the pillar there in front of the attendant. So now I'm just dragging Athena into this room because there's this thing I like to nickname the double door deception trick. And all it means is that if there's two doors that are closed between you and other NPCs, they will not ever hear you through the doors. Even with loud gunshots. Like, as you can see, nothing. And I'm also showing off the unique feature of the golden shotgun, which is that it shoots out these like gold leaves, which I think are supposed to be money, but they remind me of the final slips they had in the British game show The Crystal Maze, if you know about that. At the end of the show, you would collect like all those gold slips in the big crystal dome. So that's what they remind me of. But anyway, at least with this, I do manage to get Silent Assassin. How about that? Wow. I could have redid the Forged in Fire to get Silent Assassin on that too, but I just didn't have the patience because I got kind of pissed off at the other guard. And in case you haven't noticed that by this point, this is all post-commentary. But anyway, yeah, I just barely managed to get 3,134. And now check out the whole big description for the golden sawed-off Bartoli compared to the pathetically short description for the burial dagger. I guess it's just they didn't ever think people would use the burial dagger or have it as an unlock, so that's why there wasn't much, I guess. Anyway, now here I'm just showing off a few other things. For one, in the featured contracts, of which I still have so many to do, but I have all of the year 3 contracts done and about half of the year 2 ones done. But if you go clear back to the Happy Birthday 47 batch, as you can see, this was a contract I made and got featured. And now, when I initially did it, I had spent way too long in GIMP editing the 27 in the happy birthday to say 59th. And then in the actual in-game image, they cropped that out. So that's a bit of a waste of time, I guess. But then there's also this one, tidying up the Burj Al Ghazawi, which in hindsight maybe I didn't need quite so many objectives, but yeah, that's my contract too. And if you look on the image of this one, you can kind of see a hint of how to take out Malika. But so if you have Hitman, feel free to play those, because those are my contracts specifically. And like, I felt super special even with the featured contracts, the two of them I had, but to have challenges I made added to the game, like, that's just insane to me. Still crazy and surreal, but there they are, plain as day. And like, it's probably gonna wind up in the months to come that other people's challenges, ideas they had, also get added to the game, you know. But like, at the very least, even though other people may come later, I was the first person to ever have their challenge ideas added to the game. Like, other people like suggested escalation missions for them and designed them, but I'm the first one for challenges. And anyway, here I'm just kind of humble bragging about how I have pretty much everything done. And now I'm showing off my absolutely gigantic inventory. I'm only missing the ICA Performance Coin and Black Winter Suit, which were given only to players who played Hitman 2016, and since I got into this series in 2020, I had no chance to ever access those challenges or unlock those items. Anyway, so like, as you can see, there's just so many guns of every type, some in duplicate and triplicate, and that's just comes from the fact that it was originally 3 separate games, but since you can have the older games content almost all in the later entries, like, it just becomes 2 games worth with Hitman 2, and now here in Hitman 3 it's 3 games worth of items, which is a bit ridiculous, but I don't know what else they could do. And anyway, there's the aluminum travel briefcase, which is also an exclusive unlock. Fun fact, I actually got this game a couple months after it launched back in 2021, and I didn't do the progress transfer from Hitman 2 to 3 until last November, because I decided I want the aluminum travel briefcase on my account. So essentially all of this stuff, the Hitman 3 related stuff, I had to start over from scratch and do again. And so, like, I've basically 100% completed the Hitman 3 stuff in just a few months. And here you can see the purple streak suit, which is probably the most exclusive suit since it was a Twitch drop. Well, besides the black winter suit, of course. And like, there's just so much I would like done with this game. Like, I'd love for them to have the exclusive suits and that back, so everyone can unlock them, including like the elusive target ones, because there's still so many suits that are locked behind doing the time limited elusive targets, which is a bad game design in my opinion, but what do I know? And like there's that, and then there is some like challenges and escalations from Hitman 2016 and Hitman 2, which were for some reason cut out from this game. And so I just would like all those to get re-added to this, so it's like totally complete. And now, as you can see, I have a perfect run on all the Year 3 and Year 4 elusive targets, but it says I missed all the Year 1 and Year 2 ones, even though I didn't. I only missed the Deceivers and the Stowaway Year 1. I had every other one completed, except I failed the Procurer's Year 2, but all that got wiped out when I did the progress transfer, so there's technically no evidence of that anymore. It never happened, you might say. And now, I was just gonna leave things off and end the video there, but then I forgot that there is one other thing I want to show off yet, which is the fact that if you go way down into the credits, there's like all the Hitman 3 stuff, and then even below that there's the Hitman 2016 and Hitman 2 Legacy credits also included here. But like if you go all the way down past like all the live team and everything, then you'll see that in the community special thanks, I almost went past it, it says Luke FSJ there. Do you have your online username in the Hitman 3 credits? Chances are you don't. So how about that? That's another crazy thing. They added that in for, like, I guess a thank you for using my challenges. But it's just surreal seeing my name in this game. Something, if you told me back in 2021 that would happen, I would have said, you're crazy. And anyway, so that's about gonna do it for this video. I would like to someday do a let's play / walkthrough whole series going through this whole game, doing it 100%. But since it's like still technically got live service support to it, and it's still being added to even in small amounts, because we're in year 4 of the game, and I don't know that there'll be a year 5, but since it's not technically complete, I want to hold off on that. But of course, the biggest reason I don't want to do it right now is just it's an insane time commitment. Like, oh boy, it would take days upon days worth of recordings to do even just the main stuff, but then there's all the side missions and everything, so it would be a big beast. So maybe someday I will, so look out for that sometime in the future, 5 years, 10 years from now, I don't know. I would like to do it, but I just not right this moment. But anyway, that's it for this video. I hope it was informative to you if you were wondering about the challenges, and if you weren't, if you haven't even ever heard of Hitman before, I hope this was an encouragement to get it. I know I'll make a big difference in sales if all of my subscribers bought the game, but it's a really fun game. You should really check it out, and this is the best reason why you should do it, because my challenges are in the game. So there is that. So like and subscribe if you want. I'll see you in the next video that's regularly scheduled, but hope you enjoyed this special bonus video, you could say.